Coming up this week on Ignition GT. Ernest is in the wild Toyota Yaris GR Rally.
It's a homologated race car.
VW is bringing their Caddy to South African shores.
I've never tested anything like this.
And we find out whether the GTS is the cream of the crop in the 911 family. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Ignition GT, filled with the latest and greatest from the world of four wheels. With me in studio this week is Reba Semakane and Sam De Fonseca. Guys,
Hello.
First time for everything, and we've got a brand new guest. And not only do we have a brand new guest, we've actually got a female. We are so happy to have you with us today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
What are you driving this week, Reba?
I'm driving the Audi Q2.
Lovely.
3.5 TFSI.
Lovely.
I'm enjoying it. It's an apple green color. So excited. Sunroof, all the 19-inch wheels,
Very nice.
Raised ride height. I'm so excited, and I really do enjoy it.
First impressions on the car?
It's pretty. It's very pretty. It's striking. It has those headlamps that in our circles we say bear with me, they're loading, because they just go like this. It's not the normal one, it's not the normal one.
I like that.
So I'm so excited about those. I love the steering. I love the comfort inside. The Bang & Olufsen. I'm a sound system junkie, by the way.
Yeah, same
So
with me.
Bang & Olufsen is actually, I'm quite impressed. I'm benchmarking it with Harman Kardon, so we'll see as the week goes.
And you're so right, when it comes to sound systems, Audis and Bang & Olufsen, I mean, I drove an A1 for like 5 weeks with probably one of the most powerful sound systems I've experienced. I ended up not even worrying about where I'm going. I was like, as long as the music is pumping,
yes.
and the Yaris was just on that trajectory, so.
It was, yeah.
And yourself, Sam, what are you driving this week?
So I've just had the VW T-Cross.
Lovely.
Manual one, 1 litre, 70 kilowatts.
Okay.
And for me, the shining aspect of it was its fuel consumption. It honestly felt like I was driving for free.
Yeah.
Wow.
And coming out of a high capacity BMW, which averages like 15 litres per 100 every day.
Was an M car, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it was just so refreshing to like be able to drive 300 Ks on half a tank of fuel.
Yes.
But I must be honest, VWs have this certain aura.
Yeah.
Like the material quality might not be great.
Yeah.
But the way it's put together, and when you sit in it, when you drive it, when you hold the plush leather steering wheel, it nearly feels like a tub.
Yeah.
Like you're sitting on the bottom of the car. It just feels so stable.
Yeah, I
You're a
get
big
that.
fan.
I
That car
totally get
surprised
that,
me.
yes.
No, I'm glad you both enjoyed your VW Audi Group products. But another brand that South Africans love is Toyota. But when you think Toyota, you don't normally think performance. Automatically you think comfort, maybe even Uber, or maybe even something big like a Land Cruiser. But you don't normally think speed until now. Toyota's new GR is priced at 606,600 for the basic model and 715,600 for the rally version. It seems like enthusiasts are losing their minds though, as the first batch of cars has already been sold out in SA. And there's even a waiting list for the second allocation arriving next year. So we sent out Ernest in the GR Rally to find out what the fuss is all about.
This is the Toyota Gazoo GR Rally. And according to Toyota, you could fit a roll cage in here, strap on some booties and make your way to the start line of any World Rally event. They say it will go around any circuit in lap record time on any surface. It's got a laundry list of parts borrowed directly from Toyota Gazoo Racing. They say all these things, but are all of these things true? Well, there's really only one way to find out. The Yaris GR is supposed to be the ultimate performance hatchback, but I've been getting a whole lot of questions about this car lately. Like, what's it like to live with? And what's it like if you want to go to town to grab a quick coffee? The Yaris sales brief is all about performance, and they hardly talk about its practicality. When running errands like this in the city, the shortcomings do rear their heads. It has a boot 100 liters smaller than a Polo Vivo's boot, and you don't get park distance control. The suspension is slightly firm but not crashy. Also, when maneuvering in tight little spaces, the Yaris works just fine. You do, however, get adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist, something that Toyota does really well. The interior is functional yet simple. You've got controls on the steering wheel though, and you've got an infotainment system, but don't expect any of the fancy niceties that something of similar prices would provide. You see, for 720,000 Rand, you could get 2 Suzuki Swift Sports, or you could get 1.5 Polo GTIs. Fuel economy in this car is surprisingly good, and if you drive it like any regular car, because it's a 3-cylinder, you can actually get to really low figures. The fuel tank though is only 50 liters big, so you might have to fill up pretty often. So, done in the city, and now it's time to go to a very special location. The big question remains, how does the Yaris perform on the open road? The suspension on this car was put together by a team of WRC champions, led by 4-time champion Tommy Mäkinen. Tommy knows a thing or two about making cars stick to the ground, and that's exactly what this car does. Doesn't matter what bump you hit or which section of road you go through, it sticks. Can do is absolutely nail this car because of its pedigree. It's got a 4-wheel drive system that is absolutely adjustable, and you've got 3 different settings: normal, sport and track. It's got a 6-speed manual gearbox. You guys might have heard of that, a relic of the past these days, but it's so slick and easy to use. It feels like the old gearbox from the Honda S2000, and that one was voted the best gearbox ever made. It's really right up there. The steering, again, not as much feel as I'd like, a little bit dead at center, but absolutely laser precise, and you can place this car exactly where you want it. Where most cars reach their limit, the GR's adventure only just begins. Excuse me, here comes my turn off. I'm on a road now that is used as an actual rally stage, and I'm driving a freaking road car, and as you can see, it's behaving like a rally car as well. I've never experienced anything like this. Makes me feel alive. The Yaris made me feel invincible. It outdrives, outperforms, and outthrills its competitors, all the while encompassing the latest in rally technology. It pushes the boundaries of what's possible in a road car. And all of this comes with a warranty. The Yaris GR is exceptionally versatile. Many won't be willing to spend 720,000 Rand on a car that's got a Yaris badge on the back. But for those that do spend the money and are aware of what exactly that badge means, I don't think they're going to be disappointed.
Still to come on Ignition GT, our guests share their impressions of Toyota's Yaris GR Rally. We find out what we can expect in VW's popular MPV, the Caddy. And we live it up in Cape Town with the Porsche 911 GTS. welcome back to Ignition GT. Judging by Ernest's driving impressions, the Toyota Yaris GR Rally more than lives up to the hype. And now it's time to find out if our guests give it their stamp of approval. So guys, 606,000 Rand for a Yaris. But I must put an asterisk on that comment right there because it's not a Yaris really. The only thing apparently that it shares with the Yaris is the lights, badge, and I think it's the mirrors actually, the side mirrors. But besides that, everything else is bespoke and everything else is new and exciting. Reba, what do you think?
I'm sold and I'm not sold.
Okay.
So I saw it in the flesh and I thought that this is a lovely little toy, something fun to have every day, whatever. Then I saw the pricing and I was like, for that amount, you can get a lot of hot hatches. I mean, there's a GTI, there's a 128 Ti, there is the i30N, there is Polo GTI even for a fraction of the price. So it's a bit steep, but even if it's for enthusiasts, I mean, if we're just speaking in a consumer-oriented market, I think a lot of people will go for the ones that I've just mentioned. But if you want to play and you have the money and you want to be the purist with the stick, live your best life.
So you're very right. It is a vehicle that is aimed at a very niche segment. But Sam, you have got quite a bit to say about the Yaris GR Rally.
So
what are your thoughts?
when I attended this launch, it was an absolutely phenomenal vehicle. I don't have much gripes with the car being cool. I would say it is worth the money, to contradict Reba, because I mean it's a homologated race car. It's got like, I think something ridiculous like 80% of the parts that are on this car will make its way to the race car.
Jeez.
Now,
Interesting.
something that disappointed me about the car was the engine. Having such a boosty 3-cylinder engine, it's like you always need to be on it to extract the power, which again, if it's for the enthusiasts,
You're fine.
you're fine. You
like
probably
the
not,
lag.
yeah, you like the lag, and then it wakes up and it's like, ah, you know.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, we need the kind of, you need a balance. And that's why GTI is so loved, because you jump into a GTI, you do some enthusiastic driving, you're happy, you put on a suit, you go to work, put on like, you know, your heels, you go to work, you look good. Is the Toyota going to be that car for consumers?
I honestly doubt that you can cross-shop this with the GTI.
Yeah, like I said, it caters to different markets.
Yeah,
but I think if you're speaking in a more consumer-oriented place, a lot of consumers would be like, okay, GR Yaris GTI, I think the best is GTI. It's culturally loved. It's just a car that has so much cult in South Africa. So this one might not do well in terms of the average consumer, but in the enthusiast side, it will.
I mean,
I would
already sold
cross-shop
out.
this with the Type R, with an FK8.
Okay.
And it's like kind of round about the same money. I mean, if you're going to get the track version, and you have to get the track spec, otherwise you're not getting a GR Yaris. They are like round about the same money, and then you get a comfortable suspension with the adaptive dampers. You get a lot more space, and quite frankly, I think it looks a lot better. The Type R, okay, it's Marmite's car, but I mean, it looks a lot more badass than that does.
Toyota's sitting here thinking, what are these guys talking about? You know, we've sold all the cars.
No, it doesn't matter.
Just rally it. Buy it and rally it. Don't drive it on the road. Rally it.
Talking about something completely different, let's discuss MPVs. VW's design approach to their new Caddy is said to be more evolutionary. The Caddy is built on VW's highly scalable MQB platform. The Caddy serves as both a family MPV or a cargo hauling business vehicle, and the new 5th generation Caddy is due to arrive in South Africa in November 2021. Let's check it out. Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles will be offering the all-new Caddy in South Africa as of November. The Caddy was first launched on the local market in 1992 and to date has sold over 35,000 units. In 2020, the 4th generation Caddy sold 1,730 units, achieving an impressive share of 88% in the A-City van segment. Over 3 million units have been built worldwide since 1979. The 5th generation Caddy features increased space, the latest tech, and a completely new design. The naming convention has also been revised, and the range now consists of a Caddy, Caddy Maxi, Caddy Combi, Caddy Maxi Combi, Caddy Cargo, and Caddy Maxi Cargo. Built on VW's modular transverse matrix or MQB platform, the entire range sports striking, slightly sporty exterior design. Highlights include new LED lights front and rear, body-colored bumpers, and roof rails. As you'd expect, there's an extensive options list, comprising items such as a panoramic roof with a glass area of 1.4 square meters, a removable tow bar that can tow a maximum weight of 1,500 kilograms, as well as 16-inch VN alloy wheels. To allow for further personalization, the Caddy is available in 12 paint colors, 5 of which are new to the 2021 model. Initially, 2 power plants will be on offer. Caddy and short wheelbase Caddy Combi and Caddy Cargo derivatives come with an 81 kilowatt 1.6 litre petrol engine, mated to a 6-speed manual gearbox. A 2-litre diesel with a generous 300 Newton meters on tap powers the standard Caddy and Caddy Cargo, as well as all long wheelbase models. Which versions will make their way to South Africa remains to be seen, and pricing will be announced closer to the launch date. Now, I've experienced the Caddy in like various different iterations, from that old city Golf looking thing to a car that I've driven for over 3,000 kilometers across the country. And it's a very versatile car, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. After the T-Cross, I got the Caddy,
yeah.
And I was just thrown in the deep end. I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this? I've never tested anything like this. But then as I drove it and I was carrying my stuff and all my school things, I was just thoroughly impressed. I was like, I would get this for a business. Also for family, the boot space at the back with all the seats up, the space at the back is just phenomenal. And I loved it. Fuel economy, nice sound system. It's a very good, no fuss, no frill. I like to always say no fuss.
And it's almost like you're driving a smaller combi. That's what I find. The dimensions feel quite easy to kind of get it around. It doesn't feel like a cumbersome car.
I love how it's easy to park also. I'm always looking for a car that's easy to park at malls and stuff like that. I don't want to be...
Because try park a Caravan or something of that size.
Oh, I went through the most.
Difficult.
I'm just trying to figure out where this car slots in. And now we've got the new 1.6 turbo engine and the 2-litre diesel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at least they've extended the range as well. But if it's for a business, it nearly feels like the kind of car that the business owner might drive.
Essentially, these were probably OG crossovers when you think about it.
Actually, you're not wrong.
It's got like those sliding doors, and I mean, your kids getting out of the car. Instead of opening their door and smacking it against the car next to you, just like slide it open.
Just slide
out. And for getting things in and out, it's actually a very, very usable car. It almost looks very Golf 8-ish, right?
Yes,
so does.
I was about to say.
The only thing that I'm very curious about is pricing.
Yes.
That's I don't think there's any pricing released on this new one yet, eh?
Not that we know of at the moment, but they are quite generally well priced.
It still looks like a van.
When you see it in person, it actually looks very nice. I don't know if it's as nice as the car we're going to talk about next, but it's still quite nice nonetheless. Don't go away, because after the break, we find out why we believe the GTS is the top pick of the 911 Porsche range. And our guests share what they're excited to talk about in the motoring world. Welcome back, and if you've just joined us, you're watching Ignition GT. Porsche has added a slew of 911 GTS derivatives to its prestigious 992 generation for 2021, including Carrera and Carrera 4 coupes and cabriolets, as well as the Targa 4 version. The head-turning 911 GTS derivatives are equipped with sport design package as standard, as well as upgraded suspension and additional stopping power. We headed to Uwe Vineyard in Cape Town to truly inhale the beauty and power of the Porsche 911 GTS. Let's take a look. When you think Porsche 911, the first car that comes to your mind is a 911 Turbo S. And you'd be right in thinking about that car because it's the fastest and it's the most brutal. But is it the most balanced? Well, up until today, I would have said yes. But now this happened. This is the new 911 GTS, and I think that this is the pick of the bunch. Let me tell you why. Well, first off, just look at it. This car is absolutely stunning, especially finished off in this red paint. The GTS, as we know, has got subtle styling cues that make the car pop compared to a normal Carrera. With this car, you have got a sport front end, you have got darkened headlights, and you've also got 21-inch Turbo S wheels. And of course, the vehicle would not be complete without the GTS stickers.
Chief, it's hot here, ne? People will know, people will see that it's different. Do you see the bumper? The bumper's different. Do you see this? It says GTS. Can we start driving now? Please, man.
I forgot to mention, Richard's here.
Hey. are in a Carrera 4 GTS. This is the same 353 kilowatt motor, 570 Newton meters, and this one has the four-wheel drive.
Yes, Carrera 2 and Carrera 4.
100%.
But it's got more power than the standard Carrera, which is 331 kilowatts.
100%.
And so it's a slight bump in power. It's got sportier suspension.
Yes.
It's lower by 10 mils.
Yes.
Everything about it is
And
supposed
10
to
mils
be...
doesn't sound like much, but 10 mils in the car world to the suspension travel is huge.
Yes.
So everyone, it's a centimeter. It's a really, trust me,
It's a
those
big
10 millimeters,
difference.
they count.
And it's amazing just how you literally place your front wheels exactly where you want to go. The way this car communicates with you from a performance perspective, and just how it just feels so right.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that at 2.2 million rand, as much as that's a lot of money, it is reasonably priced, because if you look at cars
for the performance that you're getting a car that does 0 to 100 in 3.4 seconds, but it does so with such comfort.
Yes.
That it's scary.
Because you could essentially have a small child or a short person at the back here with you. So it's a car that can be used every day, whereas a lot of sports cars that offer the same amount of...
Oh, hang on, just stop here, just stop. Quickly, just stop. No, you need to stop.
What?
Just stop. Get out.
Oh, please. But even as a passenger, I must say that this car is absolutely stunning from a comfort perspective. I could easily sit here as a passenger or as a driver and do a long trip. Where can you actually say that a car that can do 0 to 100 in 3.4 seconds will allow you to also drive it for 5-6 hours on end without getting tired?
Exactly.
You know? I don't know what's more beautiful, this view or these cars.
I'm sad.
Or everything together.
I don't even want to look back. Because at the end of this, when we say, oh, we finished, guys, we have to give these cars back.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'm ready for that.
The sad part. What a way to end off the day. We're at Uvamira Wine Farms. But, like we said in the beginning of the segment, this is probably the perfect 911.
No, it is.
In the entire range. It's the
is.
most balanced. It's not the fastest, but I think you're fine when it comes to speed.
Yeah.
These cars are astonishingly quick, and they're just so easy to work with. Just turning in the way it feels. Obviously, the suspension changes. The added performance obviously makes a huge difference. The suspension changes, and of course, the braking system.
100%, because it's got the same brakes from a 911 Turbo.
Yes.
So you stand on them, they stop. No matter what speed they are. Will it drip your lungs out? Maybe.
You're spending R1 million less than a Turbo S, and you are a couple tenths of seconds behind. I mean, it does make a huge difference. It's probably 7 tenths.
You can see that you're quarter to last born.
Yes.
You're complicating this. You find yourself 2.2 million rand, and you buy yourself a GTS.
So basically,
Bye-bye.
yes. Like I said on social media, this has got to be one of the best cars I've driven this year. But now's the time for us to talk about our hot topics, and we'll start off with the man in the red shirt.
Thank you, Cisco. Funny enough, you guys were speaking about 911. I attended the same launch where we also drove the Macan.
Yes.
And I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to bring that as my hot topic.
Yeah.
Now, I was quite lucky. I've attended 2 Macan launches, and driving the facelift, what an improvement.
Yes.
What an improvement. The car is so much more noise insulated. It's so much more comfortable. The steering wheel, like, it relays a lot less harsh vibrations. So the whole package just feels so much more refined.
Yes.
Yet at the same time, it still is entertaining to drive.
And for a person who doesn't want to spend a crazy amount of money, but still wants to buy into a Porsche, I
Yes.
think that 4-cylinder Macan is actually very, very
And
good.
Similar pricing to an X3 and a
Yes.
GLC. I mean,
Yes. Reba,
The new Lexus LX, the flagship. What I'm loving about the Lexus LX is that grille that descends all the way to the bottom.
yes.
And I can't wait to see it on the roads because I know that it will sell. I have no doubt about it.
but you know what's so interesting? Because you point out that Lexus LX and the new Land Cruiser. When I got into the 300, because I literally had a 200 and a 300 side by side.
Yeah.
And I got into the 300, and I promise you, if you had to blindfold me and put me in that car, I would have gone, I'm sitting in a Lexus LX.
You think so?
Definitely. The quality step up in Toyota already is such. It's like there.
And it's the same.
So the Lexus is going to be.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Same WhatsApp
I'm
group.
so excited about it because I
those cars.
just saw the picture. I was like, okay, I need to see it in the flesh.
Guys, thank you very much for joining us once again.
Thank you, Cisco.
And of course, we hope you enjoyed this week's show. Be sure to tune in same time, same place next week, and here's what you've got to look forward to. We put the new Mazda BT50 through its paces. Honda releases their new 2021 Honda HR-V EHEV. And Juliet is in the aesthetically pleasing Fiat 500. All this and more in a fresh episode of Ignition GT next week.